What is up with this Northwestern sweater and emulating Princess Diana again, just days before we see her cooking, gardening, whatever show coming out? I want to get into this. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about why she would be doing this, why she would be wearing this sweater at this time. And I spoke to a graduate of Northwestern University, and she gave me a tidbit that I did not know. So, if this sounds interesting to you, get ready. This is going to be good. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. So, I was wondering, have you ever known someone who doesn't have a real identity? One day they're one persona and the next they're another one. They adopt new interests, new mannerisms, new speech patterns. It's like they're constantly shape shifting. They select traits from others and usually it's people they admire, and they never develop anything truly authentic. This is exactly what Megan is like, and it's actually something that is classic narcissistic behavior. Narcissists don't have a stable sense of self because deep down, there's nothing there. Instead of building their own identity through genuine experiences, values, and self reflection, they borrow identities from people they admire, or more often, from people who already have the admiration they crave. This is actually called mirroring, and it's one of the ways a narcissist crafts their public image. They shape themselves based on what they think will make them more adored, more powerful, or more relevant. They latch onto figures who are beloved, respected, or seen as special, then slowly start to embody them, sometimes to the point where it almost feels eerie. And this is where we are with Megan and Diana. Bringing us back to Megan, over the years, we know she's mirrored many, many people. She has mirrored Angelina Jolie. She's done it with Julia Roberts. And I think Emma Watson, just so many. But it seems the one she emulates the most is Princess Diana. From her fashion choices to the way she presents herself as a victim of the royal family, Meghan has carefully constructed a narrative that positions her as Diana 2.0. And if I'm not mistaken, one of her good friends from childhood, who she ghosted, Nanaki Pretty, actually said that, I believe, that she's trying to be Diana 2.0. And now, with her latest stunt, wearing this Northwestern sweater, the pattern is impossible to ignore. We've talked about many ways that Megan has mirrored Diana, and usually we've just mentioned the clothing she's wearing, but there is so much more than that. I mean, just off the top of my head, we know that allegedly she wore Diana's perfume to her first date with Harry. Now, of course, this was a manipulation tactic in order to hook Harry as soon as she could, but it just goes to show you the type of person we're dealing with. Megan has often played into this misunderstood and persecuted narrative that she was a victim of the royal system, and I think she's doing this to try to emulate Princess Diana. Diana's struggles, though, were genuine. Megan manufactures similar narratives to place herself in that role. Wearing the sweater is just to try to keep this association open between her and Princess Diana. And the indirect effect of that is that we may start thinking about the struggles that Princess Diana faced and maybe start applying them to Meghan, because Meghan loves nothing more than playing the victim. So, this sweater that she wore, emulating Princess Diana, was posted in an Instagram story. This is deliberate. She wanted to be seen in that sweater. She knew that this photo would spark discussions and comparisons, ensuring she remains the topic of conversation. I've been saying the closer and closer we get to the release of our Netflix show, the more unhinged she's going to get. I actually will be doing a video discussing why this happens with narcissists, why they get so unhinged when you get closer and closer to a big event. But this is just one example of Megan doing that. I think she's trying to claim Diana's legacy more aggressively. We know that she does it with Harry. She manipulated him in so many ways. We heard from his own words in Spare that when they visited Diana's resting place, Megan wanted some alone time with Diana, And Harry walked away. And when he came back, Meghan was resting her hands against the headstone, I believe. Totally strange behavior. A lot of her emulating Diana is for many things, and one of them is to have this power over Harry. So, anytime she is emulating Princess Diana, anytime these comparisons are made, it's inadvertently going to have an impact on Harry. This whole entire thing actually shows us Meghan's grandiosity and lack of original identity. Meghan's continuous emulation of Diana shows us that she has a lack of authentic identity. Instead, what she does is she tries to mold herself into a figure that she believes will get her the most admiration. Interestingly, there was an article that came out this week or maybe last week that emphasizes this goal that Megan had. So let's look at that article, just glimpse at it really quick. Just off the bat, this is trouble, right? The title is Meghan Markle wanted to finish what Diana started, but on a part time basis, claims book. So she couldn't even dedicate full time to it. She just wanted to do it part time. This article was released 2 days ago. And it's just, you know what? If you think about it, this article came out the same day her Instagram story came out of her wearing that sweater. Oh my gosh, isn't that a revelation? Look at how much she is trying to emphasize this connection. And this is assuming that Megan has some sort of impact or influence on releasing this article. I don't know that, but it is quite a coincidence, isn't it? The article begins Meghan Markle allegedly wanted to finish what her late mother in law, Princess Diana, had started during her time within the royal family, but on her own terms. A new royal book has claimed. The Duchess of Sussex spent 2 years working as a senior member of the royal family before she and her husband, Prince Harry, stepped down and moved to the United States. Now, a new book by Tom Quinn, Yes Ma'am, set to be released later this month, brought fresh claims from insiders into the spotlight about Meghan's time as a working royal. The book, segments of which have been serialized in The Mirror, said members of royal staff were aware of Meghan's vision as a royal, but claimed that she wanted to do her job on a part time basis. One insider said in the book, Meghan once said, what Diana started, I want to finish. And we took that to mean she wanted to become a sort of globe-trotting champion of the poor and the marginalized. What a failure. Am I right? I mean, it's astounding when you think of how much good she could have done. And I think that's part of the reason so many of us are so passionate about this. I think, at least for me, I wanted to believe in the story. I wanted to see her do good. And this has been the biggest celebrity failure that I've ever seen. Okay, everyone, this is what I wanted to show you that I heard from my friend. Apparently, today, there is a Northwestern alumni get together, and it's happening, I believe, worldwide. They're held on the same night in cities across the globe. These events, according to this website, says they represent a unique chance for you to meet fellow alumni, expand your personal and professional network, and show your purple pride. What are the chances of that? That she would wear that sweater in order to emulate Princess Diana, and it comes 2 days before this humongous Northwestern alumni event that's happening. This is calculated relevance. This is a clear attempt to tie herself back to the university in people's minds and capitalize on the attention surrounding it. Now, I know there's speculation about potentially she may not actually be an alumni, allegedly, but for the sake of this video, let's assume she is and let's just draw these connections. I say that because whenever I talk about Meghan, I'm using her as an example to study narcissism in your own lives. And maybe you may be experiencing something like this too, where you might have a relative that all of a sudden starts wearing, I don't know, Lakers gear 2 days before the Lakers game takes place, or something like that, that they want to tie themselves to this historic event. The other thing, too, is that this event is going to get significant media coverage. What better way to inject herself into the conversation than by subtly reminding everyone she allegedly studied there? And if you think about it, people might be using these hashtags. So she's inserting herself into these conversations. So I think we have a multitude of things going on here. The sweater was already iconic because Princess Diana wore it, but it has a double significance due to the timing. It's a two for one PR stunt. She gets the Princess Diana reincarnated effect and the successful alumni of Northwestern angle. As we're getting closer and closer to March 4 and the release of her Netflix show, Megan is running out of ways to stay relevant. The royal connection is fading, her Hollywood career never took off, and allegedly WME has distanced themselves from her. According to Dan Wooten's video today, they actually have stopped working with her, but they haven't said this publicly. What they're saying is they continue to work on projects with her potentially, and this would be through Archwell. So another way to think about this is WME would not want to go on record saying something negative about someone because that might discourage future clients from coming to them. So another way to think about this is imagine you're the defense attorney who defended OJ, and 100% in your mind you know OJ did it. You would never go on record saying that even after the trial was over, because how could clients trust you? Because one day, maybe when the trial is over, you come out and publicly give your opinion about their guilt. Megan, I think, is also distracting from other headlines. So I'm curious to know what you all think. I'm going to have a video coming out probably tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about this article that came out, I believe, today about Megan wanting to attend the Oscars, and it's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But I'll get into that tomorrow. I have a lot to say about it, and I have a lot of connections that I will be presenting to all of you to see if you've experienced something similar. If this video was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video. I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.